Welcome to another night in the NBA. This is your 10-minute recap of the last night of NBA hoops, and today we're here to talk about the main story, which is the Sacramento Kings, because De'Aaron Fox is back and he looks better than ever, and the Kings as a whole look really good. They were like 4-4. They were missing Fox pretty badly, but now all of a sudden Fox has been back and they have jumped up to 7-4, and all of a sudden have one of the better records in the entire Western Conference, and that's thanks to how good Fox has been, because the duo of De'Aaron Fox and Domantas Sabonis looks even better than it did last year, which is kind of crazy considering how good it was last year, because the Kings statistically had like the best offense in NBA history last year, and that was because of the duo of Fox and Sabonis. They both look like they've improved since last season, but let's start with De'Aaron Fox. He finishes this game with 43 points, 8 rebounds, 7 assists, and shoots 14 of 24 from the field and 5 of 11 from 3. De'Aaron Fox was a monster in this game. It was a masterclass from Fox, who the Spurs just couldn't stop. I don't know if I said the final score. The Kings win this game against the Spurs 129-120, send the Spurs to 3-9. The Spurs, I believe, still have the worst net rating in the entire NBA, so it's not necessarily some huge victory for a team like the Kings, but an impressive one nonetheless because of how good their top two guys looked. So moving off of Fox, who's been great, let's talk about Fox a little more actually, because the scoring has taken a leap. He's leading the league in points per game this season. I don't know if ESPN will have this updated, so let me pull up StatMuse and just get an idea of what De'Aaron Fox is scoring this season. Because it does lead the league. I do know that, but it should be even higher after tonight's game. So De'Aaron Fox this season is averaging 32.2 points per game, which at this time does lead the NBA. He is shooting 51% from the field and 38% from three, which I do believe would be his best three-point shooting season to this point of his career. So if he can consistently become a near 40% shooter, on top of the athleticism and the downhill attacking game, it makes Fox nearly unguardable because he becomes a true three-level scorer, and he's just as clutch as he was last year. He won the Clutch Player of the Year award in its inception last season, and looks just as good down the stretch. The fourth quarter was undoubtedly his best quarter in this game. Moving to Domantas Sabonis, he finishes this game with 27 points, 14 rebounds, and 7 assists, 9 of 13 from the field, super efficient. Also hit 2 of his three-point attempts, and he's been really good this year as well. It feels like he's a triple-double machine. He doesn't get a triple-double in this game, but for the season, he has been really, really impressive. And I'll pull up his stats as well, just because I want to get a look at how good he's been, because to me, it feels like he's taken a step up from last year. So this season, Sabonis is averaging 20 points, 13 rebounds, and 7.3 assists, shooting 61% from the field and 43% from three. Sabonis is a all-NBA caliber player this year. I think you could say he's been the third best center so far. It's Jokic, Embiid, and then it's probably either Sabonis or Alperen Şengün of the Rockets. And to be fair, Şengün did outplay him when they went head-to-head, but Sabonis this season has been great on the boards, passing the ball. Because of Fox being out, he's had to take on even more playmaking responsibilities and has done a really good job of it. Just continues to be a top 3 passing big man in the game today, and the scoring, I would say, is better than it was last year. I think he averaged around 18 points a game last year, and 27 points and 14 rebounds. It's just not a stat line you would have saw from him that often last year. Keegan Murray only has 6 points in this game. He hasn't been quite as good in his sophomore year as he was in his rookie year, at least in my opinion. Harrison Barnes only has 7, and Kevin Huerter only has 9, but they do get 20 points off the bench from Malik Monk, who hits 6 threes off the bench. Really impressive Malik Monk game. He's been great. I think he would be clearly in the running for 6th man of the year early on in the season. And the Kings offense still looks great, putting up basically 130 in this game. Their defense still isn't great, especially in the post, because Sabonis just isn't a great defending big man, which is why Zach Collins kind of cooked them. 28 points on 10 of 14 shooting. They also get 27 from Victor Wembanyama, who wasn't very efficient, and was actually a minus 31. Wemby with a... they just weren't good when Wemby was on the floor. We could say that. And Zach Collins was a plus 19 comparatively. So, the best big man for San Antonio was not the one people would expect, but I would say this is hands down the best performance of Collins' season so far. But the Kings look great because of Sabonis and Fox. Monk has looked really good as well, but Fox missed some time, has only played 6 games of their 11 so far this season, and he looks better than last year, as does Sabonis, which makes the Kings really scary because of how good their top 2 guys have been. But now let's shoot around the NBA, look at different outcomes on this night of NBA basketball, 10 other games, and let's just get an idea of what happened, who played well, and just truly get an idea of what went down on this night of NBA basketball. So, in other action from around the NBA, we did have 10 other games besides the Kings-Spurs game I just talked about, and let's start off with Celtics versus Raptors, because this is a close one, went kind of down to the wire, and the Celtics take this game 108 to 105. Celtics move to 10-2 on the season, the best record in the NBA. And Derek White hits what is the game-winning three-pointer in this game. Derek White has been great this year. 23 points from Jaylen Brown, who did come back from injury in this game, missed the game prior, and Pascal Siakam at 23 for Toronto. The Bucks beat the Hornets 130 to 99, kind of a dominant win for Milwaukee, who gets over 20 points again from both of their backcourt starters. Dame has 27 and Malik Beasley finishes with 20. LaMelo Ball has been great over the past 5 games. It feels like he's putting up near 30-point triple-doubles in every one of them, and he has 37 in this game, but the Hornets lose. This is also Miles Bridges' first game back after missing all of last year with the off-court stuff, and then the 10-game suspension to start this year. He was their 3rd best player, according to the Real Sports app in this game. He was fine, but it wasn't close at all. The Knicks beat the Wizards 120 to 99 to move to 7-5 on the year. They've really turned it around, and the Knicks look good again. 32 points, 7 rebounds, and 7 assists from Jalen Brunson, and he was dominant in this win. The Sixers beat the Hawks 126 to 116 to move to 9-3 on the season and send the Hawks back to 500. 32 points, 7 rebounds, and 8 assists for Joel Embiid in this victory. The Cavs beat the Pistons 108 to 100. The Cavs, after starting off pretty rough with missing guys due to injuries, they have now climbed all the way back to 500 and are 6-6 on the season. They get 18 points and 10 rebounds from Evan Mobley in this game, and the Pistons lose their 10th straight and fall to 2-11 on the season. The Pistons, despite having some good young talent, are one of the toughest watches in the entire league right now. The Magic beat the Bulls 103 to 97. 18 points and 9 rebounds from Jonathan Isaac. This is a game where the Magic owned it for a lot of it, and the Bulls had a really strong comeback, but couldn't complete the comeback, and because of that, the Magic win, moved to 7-5 on the year. They've now beat the Bulls in back-to-back games, and the Bulls fall to 4-9. Chicago only had 33 points in the first half, and like I said in the last video, it's time for the Bulls to blow it up. And what would be the most surprising outcome of the day, I'd say? The Pelicans beat the Nuggets 115 to 110, and the Nuggets, I believe, I don't think it's their second straight loss, but it's their second loss relatively recently. Without Jamal Murray, they're not quite the same team, despite Reggie Jackson being pretty good. They do get 26 points, 16 rebounds, and 18 assists from Nikola Jokic, who was even better than usual in this game, which is really saying something. But Zion Williamson with 26 points, 6 assists, and the Pelicans win and send the Nuggets to 9-3. Then we have 3 games still going on. One of them I would say is over. The Lakers are up 105 to 93 with 2.5 to go in the fourth quarter. LeBron James with 35 points and 8 assists has been phenomenal. The Suns are up 114 to 107 with 7 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Kevin Durant, 28 points, 9 rebounds, and 7 assists. If the Suns win, they will be back to 500 for the season. And the Rockets and Clippers are in a close one. There are about 4.5 to go in the third quarter. Rockets 63, Clippers 66. Alperen Şengün continuing a great season, already with 20 points and 7 rebounds. And the best player for the Clippers in this game has been James Harden with 20 points and 6 rebounds. But now, as I always want to do, let's get into the last segment of the night, which is the top 5 according to the Real Sports app. I always want to get a glimpse of who the best performers on any given night were to see who the, kind of impressive performances came from. So let's look at the top 5. Again, a couple games still going on, but this will give us the top 5 through most of the games. De'Aaron Fox at number 1 with 43 points, 8 rebounds, and 7 assists. Kevin Durant at 2 with 28 points and 9 rebounds on 71% shooting so far. LeBron James at 3 with 35 points, 8 assists, and 5 rebounds. Zach Collins coming in at 4 with 28 points, 8 rebounds, and shooting 71%. And then Jalen Brunson rounding out the top 5 with 32 points, 7 rebounds, and 6 made threes. Devin Booker, who has 24 points and 13 assists, didn't crack the top 5. Neither did Jokic or Sabonis. It was a night of very good performances across the board, but that'll do it for this night in the NBA. Another night in the NBA. Thanks for watching. Think about subscribing. I'm on the road to 12,000 subscribers, so if you enjoy the daily recaps, think about subscribing. But that'll be it for me. I'm Herm. Have a good one.